Hello everyone, I am the Synodic Scribe, and I'm here to thank you for helping me reach 25,000 subscribers. This feels very momentous because, I'm just a quarter of 100,000 now, which is an even bigger number. So if you think about it, I'm already 1/4 of the way to hitting the 6-digit number. Yeah, you see what I mean. But jokes aside, I'm between scripts right now, and I kinda just wanted to make a video for you all and talk about some things that have been in my mind regarding content creation. I've been asked a few questions in regards to this, like, how do I start out? What kind of software should I use? Do I need an expensive microphone? And things like that. And since I've been making videos for the past year and a half, with relative success, I feel like I'm in a decent enough position now to provide some candid advice. Now, this is only my own personal advice from my own personal experiences. If you feel like there is another YouTuber or internet personality that you feel has information that's more catered to you, then by all means, listen to them instead of me. So without further ado, let us begin. I, for one, love to see new content creators and new people trying to create new ideas, whether it be in a studio, over the internet, YouTube, or whatever. If there are two things I love in life, it's creating content and enjoying what other people create. I get just as much enjoyment out of making a video for you all as I do reading a really good book. Because I feel like I would be a poor storyteller if I did not read other people's stories. But that being said, getting started with content creation can feel scary. So if any of you were on the edge when it comes to content creation, or were just curious about what steps would be necessary to get into content creation, allow me to be the one to help gently pull you toward the deeper end of the pool. So, number 1, getting started. Now, starting is honestly, or was in my case, the scariest part of the entire process. But just because it's scary doesn't mean you shouldn't try. I originally did not have the confidence to upload on my own. I did not know how to edit. I had only just recently learned how to record and all this other stuff back in the day. And it was thanks to a friend of mine. They helped me by editing the first few videos that you've seen on my channel. The What It Means to Be the Player Race series. Those weren't edited by me, those were edited by my friend. Shout out to OC, you're amazing, and you know who you are. But thankfully I had a friend that was able to help alleviate some of those fears, help me with the creation process, and then upload the video. And once I uploaded that first video, it felt like a massive weight had just been pulled off of my shoulders. Suddenly, content creation wasn't this scary boogeyman. It was just, oh, I uploaded a video to the internet, some people said they enjoyed it, and wonder if I'll make more in the future. It was really that simple. So if you're scared of starting, if you're scared of that first upload, please don't be. There are people out there eager to see what you have to create, what sort of entertainment you're able to bring to the table. And if I'm able to encourage you to try, that's good enough for me. But the second part of getting started would be never trust the YouTube algorithm. It is a monster that is ever shifting, ever changing its forms, and once you think you have an idea of how it works, it'll suddenly shift into something else. It's like a shapeshifter. So no, don't trust the YouTube algorithm. Ever. Some videos will catch fire, some videos won't. It doesn't make sense, and it never will. And speaking of videos catching fire and becoming popular, don't go into content creation thinking that you're going to get a free and easy career out of it. Most of the YouTubers and content creators you see don't make nearly as much money through ad revenue as you think they do. By and large, only the channels on YouTube that have, I want to say, around maybe 100,000 subs or more make what could be considered a living wage in most countries. And even that is subjective. very subjective to a lot of withstanding factors and other things. So if you're brand new to content creation, don't suddenly like quit your job and think, well, I'm just going to be a YouTuber or a streamer or something. No. Have a plan. Think things through, because if you do decide to go down on this road and it doesn't work out for you as well as you'd hoped, well, now you're in a bad position. So plan things out. I would rather see people take their time with their content and be financially secure than put all their eggs in the YouTube basket. It's not a good basket to put your eggs in, because of the aforementioned shape-shifting Hydra algorithm monster I just mentioned not too long ago. But moving on to point number 2, content creation itself. Now, when it comes to content creation, the ears are always the first sense to be offended. So make sure that your sound is clear and usually noise-free. So if you feel like you're the kind of channel where you're going to do a lot of voice work, don't be afraid to invest in a good microphone. The good microphones are usually somewhere within the $100 to $150 price range though. So keep that in mind. But look at it this way, even if you buy a great microphone for your YouTube channel or streaming or whatever, even if you don't use it for streaming or content creation as much as you think you were going to, now you have just an amazing microphone for your conversations on Discord and everything. I use my recording mic to talk to friends on Discord and other platforms all the time. But that's the hardware. Let me move on to software for you. Starting out, I used DaVinci Resolve for editing, OBS Studio for video recording, and OSIN Audio for audio recording. All 3 of these programs are free as far as I'm aware. I believe all of them are still free. So, if you're thinking like, oh, well now I have to invest a lot of money into software as well as hardware, no. All these programs are free and new user friendly and easy to start out with. Don't be afraid to use them or any other software that you think is worth your time. But as we're talking about software, allow me to address how scary the idea of editing is. Remember when I said that I didn't edit my first videos? I'm being 100% honest. That was not me. I did not know how to edit. But now I do. So what happened? Well, I got the desire to start editing and creating content on my own once that initial fear of content creation was surpassed. So I downloaded DaVinci Resolve and was immediately overwhelmed by the amount of buttons and effects and everything else I saw. I had no idea what I was doing. However, there are a lot of guides and helpful tooltips on things like YouTube or Google where people who understand editing very well can help coach you through like the early stages of basic editing. Many of them have beginner tips, some of them have more advanced tips. And honestly, I'm learning more about editing almost all the time. So never stop learning when it comes to editing, because better edits usually makes for better videos. And the last thing I want to talk about as far as content creation is concerned is if channel growth is the name of the game for you, you need to upload regularly. What I mean by that is you need to be uploading on one specific channel over and over and over again. The YouTube algorithm, like I said, is a shape-changing monster. And if it feels that you're not uploading regularly enough, it puts you lower on the list when it comes to like showing people that you're making videos. For instance, if you make videos only once every other month, your channel growth is going to be probably very small if you're just starting out. Meanwhile, I've been trying to work my butt off trying to upload once or twice a week for an entire year and a half, and I like to think that it's shown. I've reached 25,000 subscribers. Mazel tov. But if you're just starting out and you're only uploading once every few months, do not be surprised if those videos don't get tons of traction, especially if you upload on many different channels. Try to focus only on one channel. Let that grow, and then once that reaches a certain size, then you can tell people, hey, If you're interested in more content, I upload this kind of stuff on this channel as well. Stay focused on one channel and upload regularly. I'm not saying upload once or twice a week like I do, because even I admit I've worked myself a little bit too hard sometimes. Even I recognize that. So create a schedule that works for you and make sure to follow that schedule. Because if you go an entire month without uploading, you're probably falling out of favor when it comes to traction and stuff like that. Moving on from content creation, we have point number 3, your community and other content creators. So, firstly, you need to make sure you know the type of audience you're trying to entertain. For example, my target audience is the lore community, as in people who simply enjoy listening to lore content. There are a lot of lore channels on YouTube, channels that cover a variety of games. Some of these channels have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and some have millions. It's crazy. I think My Name is Bife just passed 1 million, and I'm super happy for him. But what I mean is that the lore community is my target audience. There are some people who don't even play Final Fantasy XIV that enjoy listening to my videos simply because they enjoy learning more about fantastic worlds. Likewise, there are some games I've never played, but I've listened to lore videos about the game because I was just curious about how that world worked. That is my audience. Only try to impress the people that you want to entertain. I don't expect people that enjoy raid videos, for example, to come over to my channel and suddenly love what I make. And lastly, for this segment, I wanted to address other content creators. This one is tricky. What most people see as friends playing video games together for fun video content is more often than not a mutually beneficial arrangement. Yes, I am saying that some of your most favorite content creators or streamers are treating what they're doing like a business, because it is. Take some of the most popular YouTubers and streamers, for example. This is their livelihood. This is their income. They have to take it seriously. They don't have time to respond to every single comment, question, or email. They don't have the ability to be part of every collab thrown their way. Just as an example, I think that of all the other content creators I've tried to get in touch with, either through email or various means, only about 10% of the people I've tried to get in touch with ever responded. Now, the knee-jerk response would be, well, how dare they ignore someone who's just trying to be professional with them? But that's the point. They probably get emails, questions, stuff like that on a regular basis. They don't have time to go through them all. And even if they do see it and notice that, let's say, a channel is just starting out, they probably weigh that it's not worth their time. And again, it's nothing personal, it's just business. But if you're just starting out and want to get in touch with other content creators, by all means, do it. Try to say hi to them and start a conversation. I've met some of my favorite content creators this way. While that 10% that responded isn't much, the quality of people I've met is extraordinary. And I've even made acquaintance with some other channels that I hope to maybe become friends with them one day. But that will take time. It will have to go from being strictly a business conversation to, hey buddy, how you doing? So if you ever feel like you're being ignored by other content creators, do not take it personally. They're either very busy, they've lost your mail in the box, or something. Remember, these are other people that have their own lives and problems and things to work out. And then we come to point number 4, the thing that I've not been looking forward to, but I feel I have to address. And that is harassment. This is arguably the toughest part of putting yourself out there as a content creator or a streamer. Tons of people on the internet are absolute gremlins. All they do is hide behind a computer screen, and that makes them feel safe enough to say or do things that would be considered horrendous in a public forum. If you become a content creator or a streamer, this will happen to you. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And when you first see those nasty comments, you're going to feel compelled to respond, because nasty comments stick out more easily than positive ones. I'm telling you right now that you need to know how to walk away from those interactions. You cannot reason with those people because they cannot be reasoned with. They're not looking to change their mind. They're just there to cause trouble. A good example would be when I was just starting out with my channel. About, I want to say, somewhere between 1,000 and 5,000 subscribers. Someone purposely went out of their way to find me and personally message me to say that my work was cringe. I am not kidding. They took time out of their afternoon to find me and create an entire essay as to why I was horrible. And honestly, I don't think it had the impact they were hoping for. Because when I saw this message, my initial reaction wasn't, oh wow, I'm cringe? Oh crap, I need to change my outlook, I need to do something different. My first reaction to seeing that comment was, who are you? Like, I even went back, like, I even answered them. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, is this a joke? Did someone put you up to this? And of course, they were just like, no, this isn't a joke, and you need to take this more seriously if you're gonna whatever, content creation, yada yada yada. And that was very hurtful. It wasn't kind, it was insulting, and that person, in my mind, will always be remembered as the moron who wasted his time. Because people don't feel the need to listen to you if all you have are hurtful words. Of course, these people will insist that they have the right to say or do these awful things. But this isn't about freedom of speech. If someone is actively harassing you or other people in your comment section, Discord, or stream, you block them, you ban them, and wash your hands of whatever that situation was. Anyone who goes out of their way to insult or harm people over the internet are not good people, and you should not be listening to them. But I would like to put one addendum at the end to this. Disagreements do not equate harassment. We are free to disagree with one another, and that's okay. The world would be such a boring place if everyone thought and felt the same way about literally everything. But there is another side to that coin. While we are free to disagree with one another, we are not free to purposely harm others, whether it be physically or emotionally. And those are the points I kind of wish I knew better before going into content creation. If this helps you understand content creation and maybe get into it yourself, then I will be ecstatic to see what you create. But if you are listening to this just hoping to get a better understanding of my own methodology, then, well, now you have it. So before I conclude this video, I just want to thank you all for helping me reach 25,000 subscribers. It feels amazing, but I don't plan on stopping. Not at all. 25,000 is good, but now I want to pass Ethis Asher's old subscriber count. I know he doesn't make videos anymore and he's kind of a dead channel, but he was a very well-respected lore personality for Final Fantasy XIV once upon a time. And, I don't know, maybe passing his subscriber count will remind people that there are in fact other lore channels for this video game. But that's just me taking the piss. So, thank you all so much for your viewership, your support, everything. I am still working on some more scripts that you will be seeing very soon, and I look forward to seeing what else we may be able to discover and learn together over the years. I have been the Synodic Scribe. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and stay safe, my friends.